Wait, you're the first person that's ever said that. Is it bad?
Okay,
we'll pick it up.
I'll go on my vendetta right here. Guys, lightweights, welcome back. Today we have Remi from Pretty Basic.
Hi.
We're both going to an Alabama wedding soon, and not that I hate Bojangles, but I do have a vendetta of them.
For why? What reason?
This goes back 15 years.
Oh, damn. Okay. Long running.
Yeah. My friends drove out from New Jersey to West Virginia. We wanted to go to a theme park.
Okay.
And everyone wanted to go to Bojangles, and they all had amazing meals. And I was the only one where my chicken was just overcooked. It was not good. And I think it has to do with the name, but they loved it. So I had to be against it.
Okay.
And I was the only one who was anti-Bojangles the entire trip. And they talked about how much they loved it, but it was not for me. So that's my vendetta.
But only you only tried it once and you hate it?
15 years ago.
Okay, yeah. See, maybe they're having an off day. Maybe you got an old batch.
That's what I'm
I think we
assuming.
need to try it again this weekend.
Okay.
Please?
Yeah, I'll try it again.
Okay.
I'll try it
See,
again.
yeah, we have open mind. And if it's bad again, then I'll trust you.
Yes. What's the other fast food place?
Cookout. So he's from North Carolina where they have all these things. So he's super excited. We extended our trip and rented the car just to do the drive-thru because I was like, I'm not sitting in the restaurant. I need to have a full car mukbang. As obviously you know. But he went to college in North Carolina and Cookout apparently is the best place ever because for $5, obviously with inflation it's $7 now, but $5 you get a whole tray and I've already gone through the menu. They have 100 milkshake options, actually.
Is it a Sonic vibe?
I love Sonic, I hope, but it's I guess you could just do a tray situation, which he always talks about this, and you can pick from 20 things, a quesadilla, a burger, pizza, whatever. For $5 you get 2 things and a milkshake and a side.
I never trusted a place that does a quesadilla and a burger and a milkshake.
I understand.
It scares me, but I'm willing to try it.
We just need open-mindedness. You know what also scares me?
What?
The half Pizza Hut, half Taco Bell situation.
It's a Pizza Hut Taco Bell combo.
Yeah, where are they making the crunch wraps and the pizza at the same time?
I don't get it. I want to know.
I want to know.
What other fast food places did you grow up on?
Oh, I could talk about this forever.
I have all day.
Okay, perfect. What did you want to know?
Your favorite ones that you grew up on?
I'm a McDonald's girl through and
Really?
through. I love McDonald's.
In-N-Out?
I always talk about this. I like In-N-Out, but because I grew up in Orange County, I feel I was kind of it was always just there. But I understand for people that come out of state are oh my God, it's amazing. It is good, but I'm a McDonald's girl through and through.
And what's your order at McDonald's?
Ooh, double cheeseburger, no mustard, no pickles, sometimes extra onions. I'll do a medium fry. I like a McFlurry or a caramel sundae.
What flavor McFlurry?
Oreo. And lately I've been doing Oreo, add caramel into that. So you get the best of both worlds.
Ooh.
So good. And then I like chicken nuggets and I like their hot mustard. I think it's so underrated. Have you tried it before?
No.
Do you like mustard?
I'm not a condiment person.
Okay. At all?
Not really. I like it plain. I like it plain. I grew up on McDonald's with just the chicken selects and fries,
Okay.
no sauces.
What's a chicken select?
So that was a very premium time of McDonald's where they had the white meat chicken tenders.
Ooh.
So they were the long ones, and they were almost double fried where they were really crispy.
Luxury. Okay.
Because you know how the chicken nuggets kind of have that thin layer?
Yeah.
This was more of
the breaded. Okay, I can imagine what you're. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were buttermilk breaded.
Ooh.
They were so good.
They don't have those anymore, right?
No, they took them off.
It's probably too expensive.
Probably.
It sounds like it.
They were the best. I remember they took them off and then they brought them back, and I remember going so many times. Yeah.
And you put that on a sandwich?
I would just eat that and
just
fries.
those? Ooh, okay, yeah, that sounds delicious. No sauce.
No sauce. And then they came out with the 20-piece nugget pack.
Yeah, iconic.
Iconic.
Do you eat 20?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was the best.
That's really
It was
impressive.
the best. And then we had this thing called Restaurant Row where you had Taco Bell on the right, KFC on the right, McDonald's and Burger King on the left, and a Wendy's. And we would drive down and we'd all be in one car and we'd all go to different
How
drive-thrus.
fun is that? Where was this?
In New
Back
Jersey.
Home? Oh my God. Yeah, no, I love fast food. I'm a Sonic girl too.
Oh, okay. Sonic was always so far away. It was such a trip.
No, same. I think I've only been to Sonic maybe 5 times in my life, but I feel so passionately about it.
Are you
really
a slushy girl?
I like the slushies, but have you tried the pretzel?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm picking you up.
Okay.
And we're going.
Yeah.
I'm a soft pretzel girl. I love an Auntie Anne's. I love a Wetzel's. Give me a mall and it's the best day.
When you discovered you can make them in your oven at home, did you freak out?
Oh my God, yes. And Costco has a pack right now.
Yes.
Do you have it?
No,
Oh my
but I
God,
used
yes.
to.
But it still blows my mind. You can go to Trader Joe's and buy pre-made ones. I just I can't fathom it.
Yeah.
I do think I need to be in a mall setting to really enjoy.
Auntie Anne's or Wetzel?
I think I'm an Auntie Anne's girl.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I am
Wetzel?
too.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel like Wetzel's is more of like, it's not like I don't want to say it's not quality, but like you get all the fixins.
That's true.
Where Annie Ann's is like the core pretzel
Yes.
audience.
I'm an almond pretzel girl. Have you tried an almond pretzel?
No.
My mom got me on them when I was a kid, and no one knows about them. No one knows about the hot mustard either, but like I'm an almond pretzel girl through and through. It has like this crunchy, almost like toffee honey topping on it. It's good. It's really good.
There's no almonds inside it, is there?
I think there are, but it just tastes like sweet deliciousness.
What about cinnamon stick flavored pretzels and you dip in the sauce?
If I'm having a cinnamon, though, I want a Cinnabon. And I want a center of the roll. I'm not a stick girl, I don't think.
Where's your favorite cupcake place?
Cupcake?
Yeah.
I'm a sprinkles girl.
Really?
I know. I'm
Oh,
sorry. Like, I don't actively eat them, but like when I do have one, like once a year, I'm like, oh, I love. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Fuck, I love sprinkles.
Is it the ATM experience?
I think it's all of it. And growing up in Orange County, which is I think where I want to say they originated, they put this sprinkles ice cream in back when I was in high school, where it was like you could get a cupcake and they'd slice it down the middle and put like their homemade ice cream in between.
Wow.
And we would go all the time. It was so good. And they'd have like ice cream, like a red cup, or what is it, like red velvet, but with like the cupcake like inside of it. Like they would mash it all up. It was so good. How about yours? What's your favorite cupcake?
Cupcake. I mean, in New York, we always had the Baked by Melissa ones, which were just cool because
I love those.
they're like a mini cupcake.
Yeah.
So they were fun because they were bite-sized.
They're cute.
But over here, it's hard for me to say cupcake, but I can say donut sidecar.
I love Sidecar.
It's like the gourmetest
It's
of
so
beautifulness.
So good.
I really hope people are taking notes because this is like the foodie paradise.
No, I love talking about food stuff. Sidecar's so good though.
It's unreal.
I do love, but like nothing beats a Krispy Kreme, a hot Krispy Kreme.
Nothing beats a hot Krispy Kreme, but I also have to give a big shout out to Randy's Donuts.
I was gonna say Randy's.
Yes.
I do love a Randy's.
There's
You're right.
something about the cream that really makes it special.
Oh, I haven't had a cream donut at Randy's.
Sorry, the icing.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Like their icing is really good.
I like their original glaze. Like I just think they're so good.
Do you like the regular donut or the old-fashioned style donuts?
It's whatever mood I'm in. I have to like really pick down. But either way, at the end of the day, give me a donut hole and I'm the most happy.
From Dunkin'?
I actually don't like Dunkin' Donuts.
What?
I know, but like that's a normal thing. Like Dunkin's not big here.
Because you're a West Coast girl.
Yeah, I feel like every time I've had coffee there, it's not good. Every time I've had a donut, it's not very good.
We grew up, that was like the birthday thing for everyone in school.
Really?
Everyone would bring in a
Bring a
50-pack
box.
of Munchkins, and then that way everyone gets two.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
And they're like really like monitoring your sugar intake.
Yeah,
Just
only
two.
two.
Only
No
two.
trading, no giving to somebody else. You only get two.
Really rationing them out.
Yeah. And then when I moved out here, In-N-Out was such a big thing because I never had it my whole life.
Yeah. Wait, what's your In-N-Out order? Now I need to know.
Right now, I get a single hamburger with grilled onions.
Okay.
And then I get a second hamburger, protein style.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I put all of that in my original hamburger
Oh.
because I want that double lettuce and the extra onion and the extra tomato.
Okay.
So that way, like, it goes from like here to like here.
Oh, okay.
And then fries, well done animal style.
Oh, okay.
So they're extra crispy.
Okay, yes. I'm a fry light well girl.
Like, ooh.
It's really good. It's like in between. Like, do you not like their fries? How do you feel about their fries?
I'm a fan, but I understand why people don't like them
People hate them.
because they're just like crunchy.
Yeah.
But I like that.
They're kind of floppy, actually. Like the regular ones, I feel like because Cal hates them and he has like he's very vocal about it.
I love
and
it.
I understand. I'm like, they are kind of cardboard adjacent, but like if you get it light well, it's like right in between the floppy and then you're well done. I recommend trying it.
Okay, yeah, I've
It's
never had
pretty
light
good.
well.
It's good.
Okay.
And you can get whole grilled onions. Did you know that? I do that every time.
As a bun?
You can do that, but
I wanted to try that.
I did want to try that too. I get mine tomato wrapped now, where they just it's just tomato, onions. You don't like tomato?
Too much for me.
I love it.
Oh, no.
I love it. I
Okay,
hate
sorry.
their lettuce though.
I like their lettuce.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay, yeah.
But what were you saying about the onion?
Oh, you can get their whole, like their raw onion, like the slice of it. They'll grill that, so when you get instead of like the little bits, you get like a whole bite of grilled onion. So
How
I
do you
do
request
that.
that?
Just say whole grilled onions.
Whole grilled onions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Let
try
me know.
it.
Let me know.
I'm gonna try it. I did a In-N-Out video that went really viral. That I got a Flying Dutchman and I got a grilled cheese, and I said, and then you combine them and you taste it, and it's like nothing else on the menu.
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, it's just a cheeseburger. And all the comments are roasting me of how stupid I am.
Did you really thought you did something though?
No, I knew.
Oh,
knew
you know,
the
okay.
whole thing, but I played it off so sarcastically.
Oh, that's
that
funny.
Everybody thought, I'm like, guys, In-N-Out menu hack, you have to try.
That's so. You should make that a series. Like, that's
I don't know
actually
where
really
else to
good.
hack though. I was trying to think of what else I could do, but I'm like, that was like the core of stupidity that I can't get past.
At least you knew, because if you were really excited and they ruined that for you, like that's really
I
sad.
just reading the comments like, what are they talking about?
That's so funny. You should do that though.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that idea.
I'll do more. Okay. So last time you were here,
Yes.
I asked you when you were going to get engaged.
Yes. What did I say?
You said, hopefully by the end of the year, no expectations. Whatever happens, happens.
Uh-huh.
You're engaged now. Holy crap.
Yay!
I want to know everything.
Okay. It was very shortly after, actually. Not shortly, but like a little bit after we talked, for sure.
Less
Because you
than a
had
month
your
even.
wedding, yeah, and then I got engaged, like very closely after that. Which I want to talk about your wedding too, because I was on everyone's stories, and I was so concerned about the weather. And I know, I'm sure you've talked about it on here, but
Man.
I am so
I
sorry.
haven't really, actually.
But oh, really?
Yeah.
It looked beautiful regardless, and the tents looked so nice. But I was like, I hope they're okay. How did that happen? Like, how was it on the day that you planned a hurricane?
It was the first storm in 130 years or something on that day. And it was a hurricane, and we also had an earthquake.
Oh my God, the earthquake. That's right.
So we're taking family photos, and the chandelier starts shaking, and then everyone's phone starts going off, and you hear that, and we're all just like, what could it possibly be now?
Oh my God. Wait, because you guys were in Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
So it
we
was pretty
felt it.
close, right? I felt it in my house. My whole house shook.
Really?
And I kid you not, like I've seen like some like cracks in the walls now. Like I felt the house go left, right. Like I felt it move. So I'm sure you guys felt it really hard. I mean, I was texting Lauren on the day of. I'm like, oh my God, their wedding. I'm stressed for them. We were so worried about it.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Caitlin found out about the storm like 4 days before. Her mom
Oh.
texted her and was like, don't freak out. Call me when you get a second. And we're trying to, she's trying to figure out what could it possibly be.
Yeah.
Like, did grandma fall?
Oh,
Like, is she not going to make it?
Yeah.
And it was, there's a hurricane coming. And she's like, why? We planned this wedding in August for that reason.
Yeah.
Because it's an outdoor wedding.
Yeah.
And if we wanted an indoor wedding, we would have done an indoor.
Yeah.
And so then they've been tracking the storm the whole time. And Town and Country was the supplier for our wedding because we
Okay.
did it at a private home.
Okay.
So we had to get everything brought in.
Okay.
So we went and we picked out the silverware, the plates, the chairs, the tables,
no,
everything. We
no.
picked out everything.
Yeah.
And they're tracking it, and Town and Country says we have to get tents because otherwise if it rains, everything gets destroyed and we have to cover everything.
Oh.
So now these tents end up being, they're like
So
$10,000,
expensive.
$20,000, $30,000 because they're massive tents, and we're watching all of these tents be put up, and there's like a team of 15 guys all unfolding the tent, hitting it into the ground, pulling it up. They're on ladders. They're stringing it together because these are professional tents that they have to, and it's supposed to weather a storm.
I'm sure their job is so on the fly like that. Like they get brought in not when people want them, but when they need them like that.
Yeah, and there were only like 2 left, and we had to pull the trigger. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten them.
Yeah.
No one else had them. It was the most insane, like,
But
pull.
you don't like account for those into the budget, and that's like so last minute. That's
And
stressful.
we were already over budget, and then you get the tents, and then with the tents, you have to get a gutter because then the 2 tents, because it's not big enough.
The rain, yeah.
So the rain's going to come through the 2 tents, so you have to get a rain gutter, and then it's going to be too dark, so you have to get lighting and a chandelier, and you have to get there's so much. It's like, so we're like,
Poor
okay,
Caitlin.
we hope this storm doesn't come, but now it better come
Yeah,
because we got all this
you'd be
stuff.
pissed, yeah.
And we got this one really cool photo of us walking from like the top of the house, and she's being covered with an umbrella, and like it looks cool. It looks like something happened that day, but it was the most beautiful thing.
I'm glad it turned out. I'm glad you guys got the tents. Like it truly looked beautiful.
Yeah.
But I just cannot believe out of every day of the year, like it happened, and I'm so sorry.
Like it only rained for like those hours that we were there.
Of course it did.
The morning after was beautiful.
Yes, the day after I actually thought about you guys the next day too because I felt so badly. But I'm glad it worked out.
I mean, the honeymoon was incredible. Everything worked out.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to Italy, Paris, and Greece.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How long?
23 days, I
Oh
think.
my God. Okay, that's amazing.
Because we wanted to go to one island. Have you been to Milos?
No.
Oh, Alicia said she went on like a brand
She
trip.
did yacht week, yes. So of
Yeah.
course she's been there, yeah.
So she went, but the way that to get to that island, the ferry times didn't work out where you can just go and come back, so we had to extend the trip.
Oh.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able
man.
to go. I know. And we extended the trip, and that was the most beautiful island. It was amazing.
I feel like all the islands of Greece are so individually beautiful and all have like such a different look to them, which is so wild.
And there were like 4 different styles of beach. There was like red beach, black beach, white beach, all these like different sand colors. It was, and then like we went to like this one spot that looked like Star Wars because the sand and the erosion and the earthquakes, and like it shifted the island up and down so you could see where all of the erosion was taking place.
Oh my God. This is on Milos?
On Milos.
Okay, I gotta get there.
And
wow.
we took a boat tour, and this guy took us to this little corner of the private area that no one's allowed to go to. And he throws the anchor and we swim over, and we're sitting in like this rock circle, and it's a volcanic island. So it's a hot spring in the ocean, and you see steam coming up from out of the water. And if you put your foot on the wrong part of the sand, it'll burn your feet because it's so hot. It was unreal.
Nature is amazing. That is amazing.
It was the coolest thing.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Noted for my honeymoon one day.
I'll give you our itinerary.
Thank you, please.
Yeah. Okay. So you got engaged by the man of your dreams.
Yes.
How did it happen? Where did it happen? Did you know? Everything.
I'm embarrassed to say because I was an absolute menace throughout the process. Like I'm probably sure. I walked out of the door after talking to you and just went into full like bridezilla, pre-bridezilla mode. Like I'm so truly embarrassed. And now I can look back and laugh, but like I was so annoying about the whole thing. But we had gone ring shopping in February of this year. So I knew like
where'd you go?
Brilliant Earth.
Oh, cool.
And so I was really excited to go. And like he had asked me, I think in like January, do you want to go for Valentine's Day? So like that was our Valentine's Day activity. And I knew
he asked you to go.
He asked me to go. He's like, do you want to go together? And
what went on in your brain?
I was like, finally, yay, like it's happening. And so
did he try calming you down like, but don't get excited?
No, because I actually played it really cool because we started talking about at least what I thought was cool. I can't like I'm so bad with timelines and I have a horrible memory, but I at some point probably like we moved in together in like when COVID hit. So we'd only been together for like 9 months. So I think like a year into that finally we're like, okay, like this is obviously working. Like, do we see a future together? And I feel like I'd been kind of waiting. I do feel like a little bit of me was like looking at a lot of my friends as to like timeline wise, like okay, like when do you guys like when is that normal to get engaged, like at what point? And so like even Lauren and Jeremy, I like learned a lot from them, and I was like, okay, like I think we're ready. Like, I think we're all good. And so in February, we went ring shopping to the point where even when Lana Del Rey, like that thing with Lana happened, she messaged me. She's like, oh my God, like, did you guys go ring shopping? Like, let me see the ring. Like, she's so nice.
Wait, did she message you after?
Yeah, after the interaction. She was like, by the way, because I had just put up the ring shopping vlog, and she was like, show me the ring. Like, did you pick what happened? Which is so wild to say. She's so nice. And so that was like February, March. And I knew he bought the ring because we were hanging out in the living room one day, and he was just like, I gotta go upstairs. And I was like, okay. And then I figured he was in the bathroom doing something, and I get a text from him that was like, hypothetically speaking, would you get insurance on the ring? And I was like,
that's so funny.
So he went and got it. But I was like, yeah, like I think we should get insurance probably. And I knew like, okay, he's probably swiping the card as we speak. And
Wait, you said he was upstairs?
He like left the room and was like, I have to go upstairs. And we weren't even talking about it. Like he just got up and left and did that.
So funny.
And so I was like, okay, so obviously he bought it. Obviously it's coming sometime in the next like couple months or so. But then I didn't really hear much for a while. We went to Japan in May, which I think I probably talked about this. And I thought that it was going to happen because my mom met us in Japan, and like everybody got in my head like, oh my God, it's going to happen. And so many of my viewers would comment things that I was like, oh my God, wait, they're right. Maybe it's going to happen. And it was just like a full spiral. I wasn't upset, but I was like, okay, I think I was anticipating it in May when we went to Japan. Didn't happen in Japan.
Were you upset?
No, I wasn't upset. I truly wasn't even thinking about it till people started putting things in my head. And I was like, oh my God, maybe. But ever since the beginning, I had told him, like, I really want our friend Jesse, who I've known for years. He takes all my photos just because, like, I love him and I want to support him. But also, like, he makes me feel very comfortable. I'm not big on photo shoots in general. And I had told him, like, I would really love if Jesse could take our photos because I'll feel very comfortable. And Cal never takes photos. He takes taking photos and he loves Jesse. So I was like, it'll just be a more relaxing experience. But that was the big thing in May when I knew, or I thought that he was going to propose. I was like, is Jesse going to like fly out here? Like, what's going to happen? Didn't happen. I was like, no worries, no big deal. Time went on, and
I'm just curious.
yes.
I don't take you for this, but were you like not snooping, but like would you like be cautious about where you were looking in case the ring was there?
No, and I knew I wasn't like really that annoying about it. Like I wouldn't look for it. I wouldn't go through his phone or anything like that ever. I like feel like I was actually pretty chill until like this trip. I think I was pretty good. I did bring a lot of white. I did like go crazy right before Japan and bought a lot of white outfits just in case. But that was the only thing that I did. I was like, it might happen. It probably won't, though.
Were you crazy about getting your nails for what you wanted?
Yes, I got my nails done for Japan, and then it didn't happen. I was like, okay. Well, there was like maybe like 2 times after Japan that I was like, I'm just going to get new nails until it happens. But then I was like, I didn't hear anything, and I love like blue and pink and all. I was like, it's fine. I'll wait a bit.
How long did you space them out? Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 to 3 weeks, I'd say. I just like
every
in my
day,
gut,
just in case.
Exactly. Yeah, new set every day, new press on. I was just like, I was thinking about it, but it wasn't actively something I was like going crazy about until.
This is the coolest time in our lives.
I know. It's been so. Actually, I have so many questions for you after this. But July rolls around, and I had taken my best friend to New York, and we were out there. We went to like my favorite K-pop concert, all these things, having the best time. And
Who
Cal
was it?
texts me twice. I love them.
I don't know.
They're this girl group that performed at the Lana thing. So like it was the best night of my life. And in July, at the top of July, Cal like runs his schedule around me. Like he's not a planner. So he's like, what are we doing next weekend? Am I doing anything Friday? Like that's how our plans go every week. So he texted me when I was in New York and was like, hey, are we free the last weekend of August? And I was like, no, I'll be out of town, but I'm free the week after or the weekend before that. And he was like, perfect. Leave the first weekend of September open. And I was like, in Japan or in New York, I was like, oh my God. I'm
what
with
made
my
you
best
think
friend.
it was that?
Just because he's not a planner. Like he doesn't plan things, like because I like to control everything. I've learned throughout this process I don't like surprises. And so he's always just like, he knows I like things particularly done. So he like doesn't plan much. And I'm the planner in the relationship. So I knew I was like, oh my God, if he's planning something, it has to be this. But I was like pretty chill up until like a few weeks before. Because it was like a month and a half out from that, I'm pretty sure. Or like 2 months out. Yeah, for 2 months I was sitting on this information. And like finally, maybe like 2 weeks before, I started being like, oh my God, okay, like it's going to happen. Like I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I had bought like a white dress because I was like, oh my God, like if I want to wear this dress, like I want to feel comfortable. I wanted to feel confident in whatever I was wearing. If it was going to happen, if it wasn't going to happen, I was like, I just put the dress in the closet and I'll bring it back out later. But all to say, I went absolutely nuts the last couple weeks before we left. And I
Nuts
called
in
my
what
parents,
way?
like just like asking everybody, making it everyone's problem. I was like, I've told everyone I'm so sorry. I told everyone I'm so sorry. I don't know the woman that I became. I like called my mom and I'd be like, Mom, like I think he's gonna propose. And she was like, I don't think so, Rem. Like I don't know. I feel like I would have heard something. And my mom is not a good liar. So I was like, okay. I understand. Okay, so like he probably hasn't talked to you guys then if she's like not sure of anything. She was very sincere.
Would you do the thing where you're like, Mom, are you lying to me?
Yeah, I was like, are you being honest? And she was like, Remi, like I would be honest. I was like, okay, you're right. I called my dad and I was like, Dad, like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And he's like, I was like, I think Cal's gonna propose. He's like, I don't know, Rem, because Cal's made it very clear from the beginning that he wanted to ask my dad's permission as well. So I was like, okay. And my dad and I are like very la personalities, and my dad is also a bad liar, so I'm like, he's acting so normal. And I was like, he had asked me like, do you want to come over this weekend, knowing it was the weekend that I was going to Santa Barbara. So I'm like, oh my God, he hasn't asked my dad yet. Like my dad wouldn't lie to me. And so I was like, Dad, no, we're going to Santa Barbara. He's like, I love Santa Barbara, like that's amazing. And then I called my brother and I was like, Shane, oh my God, I think Cal's going to propose this weekend, but now I don't know. And Shane was like the most sincere. And he was like, Rem, like I want to be so happy for you, but I got so hyped when you went to Japan. It didn't happen. Like, I don't want to get your hopes up.
That's such a great way to knock you down.
Yes. Everybody. And so then I was like, okay.
I'm on your side, but let's remember that
let's
happened.
be real. Exactly. He's like,
he was so good.
And he was so nice about it. He was just like, Remi, like, I love you and I love Cal, but like, I don't want you to get your hopes up. Like, please go on this trip and just have fun. And I was like, you're right. And then I was like, okay, my last thing I think that I'm going to hold on to is Jesse. I was like, I made it very clear. Like, I really want Jesse there. And Jesse had told me like a couple weeks before that he was going to Japan at the top of September. So I was like, oh my God. I guess it's not happening, but I was like, he could be lying to me. Everybody could be lying to me. So I'm just going to
What a world
observe.
in your brain it must have been for those few weeks.
I really should have just dropped it. Like, I'm very well aware if anyone's listening and you're annoyed at me, I'm annoyed at myself too. I'm sorry.
No, not even that, because I think it's so, like, in my position, I think it's so great that I have the power to control everything.
Yes.
So I love hearing a female's perspective of where she was, where the guy was.
Yes.
Because I know what Caitlin went through.
Yeah. Was she similar to me?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, good.
She would get her nails done like all the time.
Yes.
Just in case we go
Just
certain
in
places, and like she'd have her hair like didn't happen today.
Yeah.
Didn't happen in Europe.
It's like, that's the thing. Every girlfriend that I have that I talk to, like, Lauren and I went up to Big Bear on like a group trip right before, and I had known that Jeremy was going to do it. And the second I get to her house, she's like, oh my God, he's not going to propose, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hello, like, oh my God. And then we had a 2-hour car drive up there, and I was like, oh my God, like, bitch, I cannot get drunk. I cannot let anything slip on this trip. So I kept my mouth shut. She spiraled
so funny.
every day had a new spiral. It's just like a part of the experience. Cal's sister just went to Italy, and I called her before, and I was like, do you think it's going to happen? Because their parents went. The fiance's parent, or her boyfriend at the time, his parents went. She was like, if it doesn't happen, don't talk to me for 3 to 5 business days. Like, we're all insane about it. It did happen, luckily, thank God. But it's been like such a fun trip. And I was like, oh my God, okay, Jesse is my last hope if it's going to happen or not. Like, if he's lying to me, then maybe it'll happen, but if not, then it's for sure not going to happen. And we had even gone into the studio like a week out. I think it was the week of that we were about to leave on the trip. And I had told Alisha, like, oh my God, Alisha, like, I really want to talk about how I think he's going to propose, because if he doesn't, like, we'll just delete it and it won't be aired. But if it does, like, it's a really fun thing for me to look back on. And she was being kind of weird. Like, we were talking before we started recording, and she was kind of being like nonchalant and like blasé. And then I brought it up like again right before we recorded, like, or while we were recording.
You wanted it.
I wanted to talk about it so badly because I was like, oh my God, this is so fun. Like, we, like, girlies just being like, oh my God. And so like we had recorded like 3/4 of the episode, and then I was like, hey, okay, like, now I really want to bring it up. Like, can I start talking about it? Like, this all got cut. And I was like, I'm going to talk about it. And she was so, like, not paying attention to me that I was like, oh, my God, what's going on?
Was she trying not to let it slip?
And so then we start this part of the episode, Joe. And I'm like, oh, my God. So, you know, we're at the end of the episode, and I'm really excited. I think Cal's going to propose this weekend. And Alisha looks at me literally like this and goes, Rem, I love you, but we're so different. And I was like, oh. Like, in my head, I started to almost, like, as we continued talking, I, like, almost started crying because I felt like she wasn't excited for me. And, like, although we've had conversations leading up to the proposal, like, I was always like, oh my God, like, she was always excited with me. But just, like, being there in the studio where I thought she'd turn it on more, I was like, wait, okay, maybe she's not excited for me. Like, what's happening? And it just was, like, a really uncomfortable conversation. And I almost stopped her in the conversation to be like, wait, like, are you not happy for me? Like, can we do it and, like, sidebar this? But I found out later that she did know, and she was trying so hard to not let it slip.
Because
and she was,
you know her read? Or
I didn't pick up on it at all. I think I really was just like, oh my God, like, she's not excited for me. Like, I think she just like, maybe she doesn't like him. Maybe she's like not excited, like whatever the reason may be. And so then Jessie was my last, I left that podcast recording being like, oh my God, like, maybe she's not happy for me. Like, I don't know what's happening. And it was like this big thing. I didn't bring it up, but I was just like, okay, like, I'm not going to bother her with my like crazy ideas of if it's happening or not, because she obviously like doesn't want to hear that. And I knew I was being annoying. So I didn't really talk to her much about that. I was going back and forth with my best friend, Ollie, our other best friend, just be like, oh my God, I don't know. Like the back and forth. And I knew that Jesse was my last hope. So I was like tracking him because I have him on Find Friends. He said he was going to Japan.
Did he not realize?
He knew. No, he knew. But it's because I was telling Ollie, and then Ollie was telling Jesse, like, hey, she's tracking your location right now.
That's so funny.
Because I was on my couch and I'd be like, he's at the beach. He's saying he's leaving tonight. No, I'll say this on here. And I didn't say this on our podcast because I'm so truly embarrassed. He told me, and he kept posting, like, he was like going away like day before we go to Japan. I'm so embarrassed to admit this publicly. It's far removed now. I was like, okay, I have him on Find Friends. He kept posting that he was going to Japan that night. He kept posting like going away, last day at the beach, or last day in California, going to the beach. So
he was fully committed.
I tracked him at the beach, so I was like, okay, he's there. But then I was like, he's been there for a long time. I wonder what like the latest flight out of LAX to Japan is, because he told me what night he was leaving.
You did not check.
I was like,
no, you didn't.
No,
you didn't.
What's going on? Priceline? I wonder when the latest flight, and so the latest flight was 11:40. So I was like, okay, if 11:40 p.m. is the latest flight, how early does he have to be at the airport? I was like, okay, what is that? 8:40?
Like, how many seats are left on this flight?
Oh my God, yes. And I was like, 3 hours for, international. He's going to want to leave the beach, go shower at home, have some time to grab his things. I was like, he's cutting it close. 6:30 still at the beach, 7:30. He's now made it to dinner. I'm like, I think he's been lying to me.
I would call you crazy, but I feel I would do the same thing. Every other person would do the same thing, though.
I am an FBI agent.
That's
what I'll say. I was impressed with my skills and a little scared of my skills at the same time. And so I was tracking him. He went to dinner. Do you know who Patrick Starr is?
Yeah.
Like, Patrick Starr was in on this. He was posting like photos with Jesse. Like, they went to dinner together, like going away dinner.
Going to Japan.
No, literally. And I was like, they had like a Japanese meal. And was like, last meal. I'm like, okay. I don't know. And so I was texting Ollie the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, he's at the beach. Okay, now he's going to dinner. He's been to dinner for like 3 hours. He's totally missing the flight. I just tracked him. He went back to his apartment. He's at home tonight. Like, I was like, I solved this. I got to the bottom of it. And I woke up the next morning and I was getting ready and I was like, I should probably check one more time because maybe he has like a morning flight. And I looked, it was like 10 a.m. and I tracked Jesse and he was at LAX. And I was like, okay, it's over. It's done. It's not happening. But like, you can let it go now, bitch. Like, you're crazy. And so I was like, I'm gonna still enjoy this trip. Cal took time to plan it and spent money on it, and like, I'm not gonna make this a big deal at all. Oh, I forgot to mention.
I'm not gonna make this a big deal at all.
I did forget to mention where the night before I had asked him, just tell me, are you proposing or not? I forgot to mention that.
I had the pillow over his face. I said, Cal.
This is so annoying. I'm so sorry. And Cal was like, no. He's like, no, I'm not. I was like, okay. And he was like, but even if I was, I wouldn't tell you. And I was like, you're right. And I've talked to Cal about this and I've apologized profusely. And he's like, no, he's like, honestly, I would get annoyed, but then I would laugh at like how badly you were sabotaging yourself. And I was like, no, you're so right. And he was like, it was just like funny to watch because he's like, you would ask questions that I know you didn't want the answers to. And I was like, I know. And anyways, fast forward, I'm like, okay, he's at LAX. He's obviously gone. I didn't think anything of it. Later on in the day, Ollie had texted me like, oh, he's at San Francisco airport now. Like, why do you think he's there? And I was like, oh, I'm sure he's like picking up his brother and then gonna go from, I don't know. I was like,
so his phone was there though?
So then the next day I was on Instagram stories and I'm looking at stories and he's in Japan. He posted like a photo of Harajuku and like all these cute areas. And I was like, cute. Okay. So he's like, really, he's gone. Like, I hope he's having fun. And didn't think to check Find Friends again. Allegedly, well, now I know his tracker was in Japan. Like, if I had looked, he was in Japan. And then we get to this house. Cal rented this beautiful home in Santa Barbara area, and we spent like 2 nice days there, and it was our last night, and we were getting ready all day. He was like,
is all hope lost at this point?
I was still like a little bit like, okay, I'm not sure. Like, maybe he just got a different photographer, but I was like, it could happen, it could not happen. I think I was like really close to like 50-50, maybe like 60-40 or so. And I was like, I'm still going to get dressed as if it's going to happen, but I really don't know. And right before,
were you wearing that white one that you?
Yeah, I was like, I'm wearing that, and Alisha and Ollie had texted me like, wear the dress anyways. Like, you got it. I was like, no, it's totally fine. Like,
any red flags on that one?
Like, no, I was just like, they were being really like, because Alisha convinced me so hard. I was like, okay, like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna have a nice night either way. It's gonna be amazing. And I was getting ready in the bathroom for like hours and hours because Cal was like, I want you to have enough time to get ready and have your fun. And I remember at one point I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, I need to finish that TikTok that I started, but I've been in here for so long, the sun's probably setting. So I asked Cal through the door. I was like, hey, Cal, do you know what time the sunset is? Or can you check what time the sunset is? And within the same millisecond, he was like 7:20. And so at that moment, I was like, oh my God, wait, it's happening. It's happening. Because why would he know the sunset? And so then I walked out and he was like, so I didn't know anything that was happening behind the closed doors, but now I know. He was pacing back and forth.
Was he panicking?
He was panicking the whole time, but
it's crazy.
He hit it so well. Everybody had told me, like Lauren, my friend Kim, like everybody that I know that's gotten engaged were like, oh my God, you'll pick it up in the second that you get there because they're so nervous and they're so different than how they normally are. He was being so normal. I didn't pick up on anything. I was like, oh my God, he's going to be so different and he was so normal. So I was like, I was really just going back and forth. But also I had
Once you opened the door, he wasn't doing the pacing anymore?
No, he seemed fine. I just was like, hey, should I put my shoes on in the car? Because I always just walk without heels to the car. And he was like, no, put them on now. So I was like, okay. So I started putting them on. And I feel like even up until like that day, I truly had let go. Like, if it's not going to happen, I'm okay with it. It was just like all of that, like not knowing that was leading up to it because I'm a control freak and I lost control of who I was. But we started like walking to the car and then he was like, actually, we're going to go this way, and starts taking me into the garden there.
And
then I was
were
like,
you suspicious?
Yeah, in that moment, I was like, oh my God, it's happening. Like, then I feel like I tapped back into normal Remi where I was like, oh my God, like it's happening. I freaked out. He was like, I carried my white Birkin that I bought in Japan that you brought up. And I was carrying the white Birkin. I'm walking over in my heels and it's like cobblestone and also like grass. So I'm like sinking into the floor. And I'm like, he's like, I think you want to put your bag down. And I was like, oh my God, like it's the white bag. So I was like kind of scared, but he was,
but it's
I know, but I was like, but I don't want to put it on the ground. But like, okay, like whatever you want right now, absolutely anything you want. I will throw it in the fountain if you want. And he was like, I was like, I'm scared to put it down. And he was like, I thought you'd say that. He starts bending over. He pulled tissues out. He brought them so I could put it on the ground, which I truly would have literally thrown it in the fountain if he told me to. But he put the tissues on the ground. And I was like, this is like the sweetest person I know in the world.
Is he smirking? Is he smiling? Is he like shaky?
He was freaking out. But I also like didn't register a lot because I was like in my head I just kept going like, it's happening. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. And so I'm getting so nervous and he like walks me into this beautiful garden. This house had like 5 huge gardens and he walks me all the way out and it's like just full grass and dirt. So my heels are like sinking in and he's like holding me up so I don't fall over, and he walks me over and he's like, okay, like I think you can stand here. Like he's positioning me in front of this beautiful like bench that's in the backyard, and he starts trying to talk and he like holds my hands and looks at me and he's like, oh my fuck. And he's just like, he had no idea what to say. It was like maybe like 2 minutes of him trying to stutter to find something, I was just giggling so much because I was so nervous for him because I could like feel how nervous he was and I wanted to take it away. And so at one point he like looks over and he's like, you guys can come out. And so I see these 2 figures coming towards us and I was like, hi, because I knew it was the photographer, but I didn't know who it was. And as they get closer, I realize it's Jesse and I start screaming. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you fully fooled me. I was like, I tracked flights to Japan. And he's like, I know, but like, get back to it. But immediately, like, you could see my just like body language, like, de-stress, because I'm like, oh, it's just Jesse. It was such a nerve-wracking moment, obviously for him, but also for me. I was just like, oh my God, like I want these photos to look nice. Like I want to remember this, and I don't want to be worrying about the photos the whole time.
Who is the other person?
Jesse's friend, a guy that I know who I met through work stuff, who came to do the videography. His name's Anton. Amazing. So I knew them both. So I was like, I felt so immediate. Like you can literally see my body. Like, okay. And I was like, okay, Jesse, let me fix my hair. And then I get back to it. And then Cal was so sweet. He just like tried to get the words out. It was like 5 minutes of him just like stumbling. And then finally he got down on one knee and he asked me to marry him. And I was like, yes. And then I was like, you're done. Like you did it. And he was just like, he cried. And I was like jumping because I was so excited for him that it was over. And we got our photos. It was beautiful. I found out later that Jesse literally paid a spoofer app. You can pay $15, apparently some third-party app, to change your location. So he had changed it to LAX, San Francisco Airport, Japan. He was like, if he also went as far, like he's such an amazing friend, went as far to like time zone in Japan as to like where he would be like at his hotel or like what part of Japan. He's like, okay, well, I've been here for a couple hours. I would now move to a different area of Japan. And I told him, I was like, I really didn't ever look again. Like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, no, it was fun for me. Wow. So they all like, he knew, Alisha knew, Ollie knew, they all surprised me. And
did Cal have like a rough idea of what he wanted to say?
He said that he like kind of knew, but he was like, I'm just going to wing it. Like, I'm going to speak from the heart. And he was like, now I regret it, because once he got in the moment, he was like, I don't know what to say.
Do you remember what he said?
All I remember was that he said, honestly, no, not a lot. I really blacked out. I have the
so
video.
Did we. We blacked out entirely.
You can't remember anything. I just remember he kept like, being like, fuck. I love you so much. I love you so much. Like, you're so beautiful. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Like, that's kind of the gist of what I remembered. But after it happened, he was like beating himself up after. He's like, I forgot what I was going to say. I was like, don't worry about it. Like, truly, like, if you ever want to spend the time to tell me like what you were going to say, like, feel free to do so. But like, you don't have to. But then a few weeks later, he proposed again to me at our house because he like wanted to say what he wanted to say. And it was really sweet. And it was,
Did he get on one knee again?
Yeah, he got on one knee again. And I gave him the ring. I was like, Thank you. It was really sweet.
Yeah.
But that was the whole story. I was a menace, and I take full responsibility for being a menace.
Wow. So what happened after? Like, were you, like, did, like, a sense of, like, emptiness out of your soul come out now that it was, like, done?
I think I just felt so... that's a good question. I really was just, like, shocked. Like, as I and also what I keep saying is, like, I was the perfect amount of prepared that I could be as someone who, like, I have the next 7 months of my life planned out every single day. Like, like, all my friends joke, if you want to hang out with me, you have to book me out like a month in advance because I'm, like, that nuts with my schedule. So I was like, I'm glad that I had an inkling, a very big inkling. I'm glad that I was prepared with the dress, with the makeup, with the hair, like, that makes me feel comfortable, but I also still didn't know. So I was like super excited. We were reeling after. Cal was just like pacing after because he was like a come down. He was just like, oh my God, I did it. Like it's done. He was like, now I'm done. I did everything I need to do. And we spent the next like hour and a half like FaceTiming everybody, like my parents, Alisha, Ollie, Lauren, Mia, everybody in my life, getting to talk to all of them. And then we went to dinner and we got to celebrate a dinner together and it was so fun.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's unreal.
It was really, really great.
And you were happy with the photo and the video?
So happy. Truly so happy. And he it was perfect. He did an amazing job. Wow. And I know he's just like so happy to be done.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So now what's next?
Okay. I really thought, being the control freak that I am, I love throwing parties. I love like all the sorts of things. I thought I'd be like immediately like wedding planning mode. Let's go. Cal's sister just got engaged like a few days ago and she texted me. She just got back from Italy today and she's like, I've gotten into wedding planning. Where are you? And I'm like, I did actually start thinking about it, but then even then I got overwhelmed. So I wanted to wait until maybe next year to start planning. But the one thing that I did do already was I started looking online of just like venue. I have an idea of what I want it to look like. And so when I was looking through venues online, just photos, I saw one that I was like, this is exactly what I imagined. It's as if I drew this painting. And so I was like, you know what? I just want to get an idea of like how much it would cost so that when I do wedding plan, like, you know, next year or so, whenever I'm ready to actually start doing it, you know, I don't go to my first meeting with them and it's like 5 times what I thought it was going to be. So I was like, I just want to get a rough idea so I can at least start imagining things. And I called and I got the number, and the number was in par with what I thought it was going to be, which was a lot. But I was like, okay, I've heard weddings are expensive. I know that already from talking to all my friends and things. So I was like, okay, like that's pretty much on par. But more than that, what stressed me out was like, I was like, she's like, date range. Like, when are you thinking of getting married? And I was like, I've always wanted a June wedding. I think I talked about that here because of Bride Wars. And I was like, do you have any dates in June for 2025? I was like, I'm so far out. They're going to have so many. She was like, we're actually all booked for June, not a single date. She said, we have, range, what would you be open to? I was like, maybe like April to June of 2025. She's like, perfect. We have one Saturday in April and one Saturday in May, and that's all we have for all of 2025. So then I was like, okay, well, obviously I'm not going to do that because I can't just sign. I'm not ready for that yet. But then I started freaking out like, okay, it feels as though I'm sure once I start looking into more venues, everybody from 2020, 2021, 2022 has like pushed everything so far back because of COVID, obviously, that there aren't that many dates open. So now I'm thinking I'm going to have to get started closer than I thought. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And you're going to keep it in California?
I don't know. I really have no idea. Now I'm like open to whatever, but I think probably California just because a lot of my family and friends and everybody's here. And Cal's family is all in the Midwest, but they'd be excited for like a California little vacation. But I'm just overwhelmed already with the idea of doing everything.
Wow, 2025.
Wouldn't you think that we have so much time for that? That's a year and a half away.
Yeah.
We don't.
And then it's just going to be so much. Like, there's so many questions that they're going to want you to do, and there's going to be so many activities that you guys have to go film.
And I saw you and Lauren talking about it. I saw the clips where you guys said every year it just gets more expensive, and so then that started to freak me out too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
we went up to Napa Valley, and we looked at 3 different places, but none of them really stuck out to us.
Okay.
Especially for like the cost of what it was and just the location and all the activities. There was always like something about this place that did not feel like right for us.
Okay.
And then we found the place in Santa Barbara where we got married.
It was like, I feel like that's exactly what I want. Your guys' location was stunning. Did you find that through like a planner, or how did you guys find that place?
Caitlin found it because there was another influencer who got married there. I forget her name.
Okay.
Do you know Indie Blue?
Oh, yes.
So she got married there, but she never tagged the location. Oh. So Caitlin, being the little detective that she is, goes on like, I think she found it. She looked everywhere, and then she found it on Airbnb as a weekend home. Oh. And then she asked about, doing it as a venue. The lady was like, call us now.
Wow.
They started talking. And then, I mean, it was like no one knew where it was. So we had all the time in the world to pick the time and place.
Oh, that's so nice, actually. Okay, good to know.
But then the negative thing is that we had to bring in everything.
Would you say if you could go back, would you... I've always heard from some people, like, I feel like it's split. People do like a regular venue and it's nice because everything's there. But I know a lot of people that have done it your way to save money, but then it ends up being just as expensive. Would you say you liked doing it that way, or do you wish you'd picked a different venue?
She would have a better answer for that if you're looking for like guidance, but in my boy world of where I didn't really, la, 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 la. Where everything just kind of like happened.
It came together. You just showed up.
In my boy world, I like doing it at that place.
Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful.
But
I feel like that's a dream.
Yeah, but if we did it at a regular location, would they have just given us different covering? Or like instead of having us in the garden, put us inside a hall where we didn't have to rent tents?
Okay.
Which like put the cost into oblivion.
That's true. Okay.
So like there's pros and cons to it, but she's more well equipped for the full answer.
I will be asking her lots of questions.
But overall, everything worked out great for me.
I mean, it looked stunning, and you had a beautiful wedding.
Yeah, like people were coming over. They're like, "Groom's here. Does he want an appetizer? Let's get him a hamburger. We need a hamburger for the groom."
Is that what happens? You're the king of the day.
I was treated like royalty.
Oh.
So Caitlin's getting all of her photos done, and I'm like eating cheeseburgers.
Wait, I love that. Were you hands-on at all? It sounds like not much hands-on.
No, I was,
Okay.
but like overall, at the end of the day, Matt King said it very well that there's even email chains where they're talking about her dress, and we can't be part of that.
Yeah.
There's things that are
Okay.
surprises for us. So it's also kind of contradictory for me to like be talking to one person about this if she's talking to the other person about this.
Got it.
So we have to coordinate different times for the walkthroughs. Like it is easier to have one person spearhead it and then the other person like chime in and help.
Okay.
So I chimed in and helped.
Yeah.
As much as I could.
Understood. Okay.
But I went to all the walkthroughs. I was there like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I assumed you were there.
Yeah.
I think with Cal, and we've already like laughed about this because we both know it's true. He's going to be so whatever I want until there's like a very specific thing that he feels very specifically towards. Is that what you do? I feel like that's how it usually goes.
I got my walk-in theme song for the
You
wedding.
got it. Stop.
And that was my one thing that I really wanted.
I remember, wasn't it like Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I did not get that one.
Okay. I was like, did you really do that?
But I did get the song from 2001: A Space Odyssey where it's like bum 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 bum
You
bum.
got
Ba, da, da, da. And I came in right on the hit, and everybody
Went
loved
crazy?
it.
That's amazing.
Because we like walked from like back of the wherever
The house, right? Yeah.
all the way to the front garden.
Uh-huh.
And by the time that I walked all the way there, it was timed perfectly.
Did you time it yourself, or was it just a coincidence?
I couldn't hear anything. It was completely coincidence.
Oh, how perfect is that?
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Because we had to do it in the tent, so then the DJ didn't have like enough speakers, like the way that it was set up, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it was just the timing worked out perfectly, and everyone freaked out, and it was the coolest thing.
That's amazing.
And right there, I was like, all my nerves went away because like, okay, like something cool happened. Like I could relax.
Oh, that's the one thing that you wanted went right.
Yeah.
That's all that matters today.
Yeah.
Did you cry when Caitlin was walking down the aisle?
I think I definitely shed a tear, but I cried during the first look.
Oh.
So we did first look that
okay.
morning, and
I
we
love
read our
that.
vows privately to each other.
I love that.
Yeah. So and everyone, my friend who is what is he?
The best man?
No, the minister.
Oh, officiant?
Yes.
Yes.
My friend was the officiant, and he was reading our vows, but we already did it to each other that morning.
Okay.
So everyone was like, why aren't they crying? But we already did it privately.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be sobbing. I already know.
It
It's
was-
gonna be a cry fest.
It was an emotional day.
Oh. Yeah. I'm so happy that it went well though.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Beautiful.
And then the honeymoon was unreal.
When did you guys get back from the honeymoon? Like recently then, right?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay. I want to see your wedding band.
Oh, yeah.
Are there diamonds on it? I love it. It caught my eye with the lights. It's beautiful.
Thanks. Can I see yours?
Yes.
Whoa. Whoa.
He did a good job.
Whoa.
He did a great job.
Nice, Cal.
I want Cal. My best friend who's also engaged. We're like, she's my best friend from middle school. She just came out this weekend so we could she tried on dresses. And her story's so cute. They're getting married at a summer camp because they met at a summer camp, like an adult. It was like a frat party summer camp. And so they're like renting out this like beautiful camp in the forest and like doing all this really cute stuff. But we were saying like, we want them to have a ring for the engagement time.
Yeah.
She was so funny. She was like, I went to a bar the other day, and she was like, and I didn't wear my ring because I forgot to put it on. And she was like, I was treated like royalty. She was like, they gave me free things and all these sorts of things.
Was not married.
She wasn't. And then she said, I went the next week. I put my ring on. She's like, they couldn't care less about me. She's like, he needs the same thing.
That's so funny.
She was so funny about it. So I was like, I agree. I want Cal to have a ring early too, but I'm like, is that like sacrilegious? Is that bad? Is that bad luck? I'm not sure, but
she gave me a promise ring and I gave her a promise ring.
Oh, cute.
So that's kind of what I wore for that whole time.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, I want to do it. I think I'm going to do it.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I think there's a lot of superstitions too. Some of them are just so ridiculous that I just have to throw those out the window.
Yeah.
But like some I get. I don't know.
What are like a weird ones?
There were a couple that she said, like, on that day, she's like, oh, don't do that. I'm like, do you really think that one? And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah, that one's kind of sounds stupid. Let's not do that one.
Okay, I'm going to have to look into those things. I'm a very superstitious person, though.
Are you?
Like, I've never opened up an umbrella indoors in my life. I've never gone under a ladder. Like, I go out of my way for those things.
Do you keep your wallet off your bed?
No, I didn't. Well, yes, but it's in my purse, but I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't know the purse regulations, but if you have your wallet on the bed, apparently that's bad luck to have money on the bed.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I knew the ladder.
Yes.
Don't break a mirror.
But yeah, mirrors, black cats.
Do you do that one?
Well, if I see one, it does cross my mind. I'm like,
I want to run into you one day. Did you see you running me around?
I definitely think it, but I'm not afraid of them.
Yeah.
I'll be nice to them.
There are a lot of cats in Greece, and some of them were black, and we couldn't avoid those.
Yes. But I'm not the girly that brought the cat into bed. When I watched Alicia's clip where she said I don't remember who did that.
She didn't say who.
I have to ask her, but I would see the cats in Greece and I would go buy them canned tuna, tuned canna, and I would put the can of tuna on the street for them. But I was like, who the fuck brought a cat into the bed?
That's so funny.
That's so scary.
Would you get an animal now?
An animal?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Just for fun?
Then
I have 3 dogs.
Engaged. Oh.
I have 3 dogs. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I'm
you
like,
had 3.
I can't do another one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Would you want to do another?
Right now we actually have 4 because I've been watching my brother's dog, and absolutely not.
What do you have?
I have 2 Shih Tzu Malteses and 1 little Chihuahua cutesy. Mm-hmm. And then my brother has a golden doodle. So we've been watching her and she's so sweet, but those things are scary. Oh, wow. I actually have a fear of golden doodles a little bit. This has softened me up. But I used to live in an apartment where there are these 2, and because she's little, so it's not that scary. But the big ones really terrify me. The ones with the human eyes and they just sit and stare. I would get in the elevator at my apartment complex, and this neighbor had 2, they're almost my height when they would go up on their hind legs, and I would always be like, ah! So I'm kind of scared of them.
Your Shih Tzus don't shed?
No, I'm allergic to dogs. Or? No, she doesn't. Luckily, she is part poodle, so she's hypoallergenic. Yeah. But when I rescued her, they were like, we don't know, and I was like, I'm just gonna take a chance here.
That's risky.
I'm just gonna see.
Oh man.
I take a Zyrtec every day though, so it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty allergic. When I'm with Moose or Diggy or any of my friends' dogs, when they lick me, I'm like, Hive City immediately. Man, I really exposed myself. All the comments gonna be like, she's annoying. I was so scared.
As far as
just explaining how annoying I was, because I was like, I know. You know when comments are they're right. So you're like, yeah.
But anyone would have been doing the exact same thing.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I'm not trying to defend you because I'm all for engagement.
Yeah.
But I want leave as many comments as you can. But if it's so crazy that the man controls the power of when this event is going to happen, and you just have to sit there completely blinded.
I know.
I'm literally supposed to go out and make this big decision behind your back.
Yeah, and hide and manipulate and twist the story and lie.
And everyone around you has to do it too.
I love it though.
Your
it's a really
mom,
fun tradition.
Your dad, they're not going to tell you the truth.
Yep.
Your closest friends.
I know. I know.
I always found it so fascinating that I have this power.
This tradition, I don't know where it originated, but I do love it. I'm so happy for how it went down, and it gives a good story. It does, but I'm ashamed of my actions.
That's so funny. Okay, so your wedding, 2025.
Maybe. We'll see.
Do you know any of the other details, or is that so early?
I know nothing. Now I'm just feeling okay, as much as I would like to wait, I don't think I can. I think that's kind of what I came to after the phone call of having one day in April and one day in May. That's crazy.
Do you know what kind of food, like, in a perfect world you would want at your wedding? Because that was the only thing important to me too.
Okay. Yes. Well, actually, no. I haven't thought about that. Lauren did take me to her food tasting for her wedding. What a treat for me. And I got to try filet mignon and like delicious, all these things. So like everything that I've experienced with wedding planning has been through
Beautiful.
Lauren, and she's so nice about it and like is so open to share everything, because I feel like some girlies get like a little bit like no, and she's been nothing but like so supportive and amazing. So food wise, I mean, no, but I do want the In-N-Out truck at the end of the night. I've always wanted that. I think it's so cute.
We wanted Taco Bell, but with the hurricane and the rain, it was like, and then we had a random noise ordinance that we had to stop at 10.
No.
Which originally was supposed to be like 10:30, pushing it to 11.
Okay.
So, and the cops were there exactly at 10.
You're kidding.
It was a whole thing.
Did the wedding just end then, or what'd you guys do?
We had to cut off the music, and then we made an announcement like, no one leave, like, we're still allowed to hang out here, but
Okay.
we just can't be blasting the music because it carries throughout Santa Barbara.
Ugh, that is annoying.
Yeah.
So what time did everybody like actually like leave then?
Probably 10:30, 11.
Oh my God, but that's still like kind of early.
We started at like 4.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so annoying. They were there on the dot.
Yeah, but we were supposed to have this whole Taco Bell thing. We are going to hang out on the roof. It was going to be like this whole thing. But
yeah.
then once the music cut out, there was nothing left to do but
Yeah.
like, just sit there and drink.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I love the idea. I saw this girl that did McDonald's, and they had like the local McDonald's that was like 10 minutes away. The manager was like so nice, like hand delivered all their things to them. I was like,
Wow.
that's so sweet. And they had like little individual like small fries, so they could like eat them on the dance floor. I was like, I like that. I think that's what I'm most excited about. My bachelorette trip and the food that's going to be served at the end of the night.
Where do you want to have your bachelorette?
Vegas.
Oh.
I've thought that since I was like 12. That's the only thing that I know for sure is when I'm doing Vegas, and we're going all out.
Really?
Yeah.
What is all out?
Just like club, another club,
Another
bus, another club.
Thunder Down Under.
Exactly. Oh my God, but I can't do that. I get really uncomfortable in situations like that.
And you know you're the belle of the ball, so they're gonna pull you up on
They're gonna
stage.
pull me up. I actually don't want that. One time, a company sent me for a birthday like a strippergram, and I literally ran away from him.
Like a person?
Like a person, and I ran away from him because I was so uncomfortable, and I feel so badly, and I was like, please no, please no, please no. But like it's his job, so he like kept like chasing me, and I was like running around this hotel room. Everyone's laughing, and I was like so uncomfortable.
Oh, that's wild.
So I don't think I'll be doing Thunder Down Under. I think I'll be doing the bar.
Ilya did that once for me here. On
He
our
sent someone?
on our podcast, he had 3.
Stop.
So 3 dudes came in and danced on me.
Like it is fun to watch people, but like being there, you get so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't need to be the guy.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow. I can't wait for your Vegas bachelor. Are you going to film it?
I feel like I have to. You know what I think I'll do? I'm gonna have it filmed, reality show style.
Whoa. Testimonials?
Make a whole series about it.
Talk to the cameras?
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That's so
like,
good.
That bitch pushed me at the bar, so I pushed her right back. Like I want it to be like so fun though. It's gonna be good.
That's awesome.
I'm excited.
I feel like I'm just excited now.
For all the wedding festivities.
Yeah.
Do you miss anything, or are you glad it's done?
I definitely I don't miss the stress that it came with.
Yeah.
But it was such a special time, like, to control everything and actually throw a party.
Yeah.
Because she never had a Sweet 16, or she never had like an event where she was the star. So this was that. So she really wanted to make it special, and like it was.
Yeah.
So the planning and coming together with ideas, and she's like, what about this? I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. What about this? And like us coming together to throw this thing to unite and throw our love with everybody together was so cool.
I love that.
Yeah. We actually had gelato that night,
Ugh.
but we didn't get to try it.
Ugh.
So we went to Santa Barbara last week and we tried it.
Stop. From like
Yeah.
a little gelato shop out there?
Yeah, and like this little old man and lady came and served it at the wedding. But like we didn't know that it was even happening.
Oh.
There were also things that were at the wedding that I didn't get to see, which I would have loved to see. Like there was a giant pizza oven making fresh pizzas on the...
Are you kidding me?
And it was from a Michelin star pizza restaurant.
Are you kidding me?
And we didn't get to see it, but we ate the pizza, which was great.
Okay, good.
But
I was telling Matt King, because he came on Pretty Basic recently, and like a couple days ago, I was like, how are you feeling? Are you so excited? And he was like, I'm just like, I'm scared I'm not going to be able to talk to everyone. And I was like, luckily, I feel like I've learned with that, like my most recent birthday party that I had, I feel like I didn't get to have fun because I was trying to like mingle with everyone. So I've decided I'll do like a dinner or something before, like a little like mingling cocktail party like the night before. Day of the wedding, I'm going to be like, let's just have fun. Like, we don't need to like talk so much. Like, I want to actually enjoy it. I want to see the things because I feel like I'm going to be so stressed. Like, conversation. Okay, like I have to get out of this one and go talk to these people and then these people and these people.
And then you're going to have jugglers and face painters and there's going to be so many activities at your
So
wedding.
I have to get, I want it all. How am I going to get it all done?
And then there's going to be the hang bar and whoever can hang the longest gets $1,000.
Yeah, basketball, like free throw shots.
Oh, you did have to do that?
I'm going to do that for sure. Yeah, obviously. I want the thing where they throw the ball and then it's like the dunk tank. Like I want that.
Have you looked at Six Flags yet?
You know what? I haven't, but that's a fabulous idea.
You come back to Cal. Like, hear me out.
Joe and I were talking. Yeah, I'm really thinking Six Flags.
I'm really thinking like maybe during Fright Fest.
Honestly, honestly, like not the worst idea.
I think it'd be fun.
Like I won't do it, but not the worst idea.
Someone else could do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll watch it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, Rem's podcast is going to be linked down below. Make sure to go check it out. Make sure to subscribe. If you're new, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Thanks.
Beautiful.
Congrats again.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
All right. Lightweights. Out.
Bye.
Cool. That was great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.